Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Providence Performing Arts Center. Please take this opportunity to make note of the fire exit closest to you. In the event of emergency, please exit through that door and move away from the building. At the conclusion of tonight's ceremonies, the graduates will recess out using the center aisle of the theater. For the safety of the graduates and guests, it is important that all guests remain in their seats until after all the graduates have left the auditorium. Guests who must leave immediately will be required to exit by the doors on either side of the auditorium, as use of the center aisle will be strictly prohibited until the recession is complete. Thank you.
Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem by the Cumberland High School Clef Singers under the direction of Mrs. Susan Alves.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the brave and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Good evening. It's a pleasure to welcome you to the graduation ceremonies for the Cumberland High School class of 2013. This is the 119th graduation ceremony for Cumberland High School. It gives me great pleasure to introduce this evening's Mistress of Ceremonies, a hardworking student leader, Ms. Melissa Mardo, Student Government President.
Thank you, Mr. Tenrero. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome our stage guests, School Committee Chairwoman, Mrs. Lisa Bolio, School Committee members, Mrs. Linda Teal, Mr. Jeffrey Mutter, Mr. Ray Salvatore, Mr. Mark Filioro, Mr. Paul DeModica, Mr. Craig Duffy, Superintendent Dr. Phil Thornton, Assistant Superintendent Mr. Robert Mitchell, Director of Special Education Dr. Lisa Colwell, Assistant Director of Special Education Mr. Frederick Shockhart, Dr. Jason Masterson, Middle School Principal, Cumberland Mayor Daniel McKee, Dr. Stephen Kalar, National Institute of Health, Washington, D.C., some fans in the crowd, City Councilors Mr. Craig Dwyer, Mr. Jeffrey Kearns, Mr. William Murray, Council President Mr. Jim Higgins, State Senator Mr. Ryan Pearson, Cumberland High School Principal Alan Tenrero, Cumberland High School leadership team members Mrs. Amanda Latoyle, Mrs. Suzanne Paquette, Ms. Vanessa Malloy, Mrs. Joyce Palucha, Mr. David Rosen, Mr. Christopher Scott, class advisors Ms. Stephanie De Silva and Ms. Kate Ward. I would also like to recognize the many Cumberland High School faculty and staff in the audience. Welcome, family, friends, faculty, staff, distinguished guests, and most importantly, the class of 2013 to this year's graduation ceremony. I think I speak for every student as I thank all of the members of the audience for celebrating this special day with us and always believing in us. Your care, love, and support have inspired the class of 2013 to truly strive for the best and prepare us all for the future. Today, a chapter in our lives closes as we remember the good times, but a new chapter is on the horizon as we prepare for even stronger bonds and friendships and face even bigger challenges. The best part about writing our own story is that we have the ability for an unlimited number of chapters filled with our brilliant ideas, latest trends, and amazing success stories. None of us can predict where we will end up in 10 or 20 years, but we all have the ability to chart our own course. 13 years ago, we started our education journey, learning the alphabet, reading picture books, and most importantly, partaking in nap time, which I'm sure most of us continue to do throughout high school. We all faced the internal struggle of whether completing that formative assignment was actually worth it. We spent the past 4 years keeping up with new rubrics, GSEs to Common Core standards, and portfolio changes. We fought for parking spots up top whenever it snowed or rained, and we learned just how distracting a skirt 4 inches above the knee could be to our education. The class of 2013 started the year finally making the homecoming dance happen, and ended the year by banding together for Aiden's Army. Our class may be one of the best that entered CHS. Look around you, and we have undefeated and championship sports teams, athletes setting new school records, a singer off to Berkeley, and award-winning artists and actors. With such diversity, the class of 2013 may include the most talented students unleashed onto the world. This moment marks our departure from Cumberland High School as we embark on jobs, the military, or college experiences, maybe a few minutes away from home or across the country. CHS did not just give us an education, but skills and strong bonds with students and faculty. This past year, we all used our voices to express our own views and positions on certain changes. Even if we did not get our way, however, the class of 2013 still remained optimistic and hopeful. Using that hope and optimism in the future can only ensure that we all have the power to continue amazing accomplishments. I am proud to be part of the class of 2013, and it is truly an honor to receive such an educational distinction of a high school diploma here today. Thank you and congratulations. At this time, I invite Mrs. Linda Bolio, the chairwoman of the Cumberland School Committee, to address the class.
Thank you. It's an honor to stand before the class of 2013. Tonight, I'd like to talk to you about grit, not the kind you drag into the house after a day at the beach, but rather that internal drive that causes you to pick yourself up, to work harder, to practice once more, to keep pursuing your goals, because it is grit that will impact your success after graduation. In 1934, Glenn Cunningham showed grit when he ran the mile in a little less than 4 minutes and 7 seconds. Not only was this a world record, but it was all the more remarkable because when he was 8 years old, he was so horribly burned that doctors predicted he would never walk again, let alone run. One day, Cunningham threw himself on the ground, tired of being confined to a wheelchair. He forced himself to crawl across the lawn, then forced himself to learn to stand up again, to walk again, and to run again. By his sophomore year in high school, he was competing in the Olympics. 2 years later, he could run a mile faster than anyone else. Grit is what has convinced you to stand up for what you believed, moved you to work a little harder on an assignment, pushed you to run a little faster at practice, and driven you to find a job to help pay the bills at home. Cumberland has watched and cheered multiple team and individual level championships, as well as awards and achievements for academic excellence. Our community has witnessed the result of your grit through a renewed sense of pride and spirit at our high school and positive remarks about Clipper Blue throughout the town. Whether your future holds college, technical school, employment, or the armed forces, regardless of your abilities, disabilities, weight, height, dollars in your wallet, or kneecap scores, grit is what will determine your success. When life situations seem insurmountable, it's your drive and motivation that will move you forward. In the words of Winston Churchill, continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential. On behalf of the Cumberland School Committee, congratulations, and our very best wishes to you and your families, and may you use your grit to unlock your full potential. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. It gives me great pleasure at this time to invite our principal, Mr. Tenrero to the podium to address the class of 2013.
Honored guests, colleagues, families, friends, and most especially the graduates of the class of 2013. When I became principal 11 months ago, a student writing an article for a journalism class asked me what I expected of a graduate of Cumberland High School. My answer was relatively simple. I expect our graduates to change the world. This senior class took on the challenge set before them at the beginning of this year of being the change they wish to see in their school, community, and world. Be the change is an important message and one I hope you take with you beyond the walls of CHS and beyond this experience of the last 4 years. Throughout the year at Cumberland High School, I have watched, learned from, seen, and encountered you in many different ways. I have seen compassion, trust, scholarship, effort, achievement, hope. I have seen you give of yourself to friends and to others. I watched you cheer loudly for both the home and visiting teams at unified basketball games. You completed countless community service hours. You cared for fellow classmates and teachers when they were sick or suffered a loss. You united around a cause as for some time this year, Clipper Nation became Aiden's Army. You cut out and sent snowflakes to decorate the elementary school for the victims of Newtown. We supported each other in the communities of Boston and most recently Oklahoma after the national tragedies that took place there. I have seen thousands of dollars and countless hours donated to charities like the Red Cross, the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, Thanksgiving turkey baskets, and Toys for Tots. I have seen many individual acts of kindness throughout the year as well. Recently, I found out about a senior who quietly and selflessly gave up an important recognition, one that most 17 or 18-year-olds would want for themselves because he felt another student was more deserving of the honor. What kind of high school senior does that? In other words, I've seen the lessons we really wanted you to learn put into action. The challenge now lies before you to take this experience and make it the pattern of your life. We live in a world today where war, terrorism, abuse, and disease seem to be accepted. They initially scare us, and then we go back to comfortable lives. Sometimes when something truly horrific happens or an icon falls in a scandal, be it Lance Armstrong, a political leader, or a banker on Wall Street, we often hear people ask, how could they allow these things to happen? And we forget that we need to ask ourselves exactly that same question. In the years ahead, you are free to become that which you wish to become. That freedom is a gift and a responsibility. It's the journey that matters, not the outcome. It's not about the job, the money, how comfortable your life might be. It's about how you get there and who you are along the way. One of the authors that you've read at Cumberland High School has been Arthur Miller. In Arthur Miller's play, All My Sons, the relationship between father and son is central to the play. The father is wealthy, a pillar of society, and adorned and idolized by his son. In the course of the play, the son begins to realize that the father's wealth and position has come at a cost. The father has done some shabby and unethical, even illegal things to acquire what he has. In a poignant scene, the father, seeing the son's disappointment, says, "Son, I'm no worse than anyone else." The son responds, "I know, Dad, but I thought you were better." Graduates of the class of 2013, we think you are better, that you have experienced a better way, that you can be better when faced with whatever life might put before you. As you step beyond the walls of CHS, I truly believe that you can change this world, even if it is just in your relationships with family, friends, in a job. Reaching out to another with compassion, trust, and respect, you will change the world around you. You will be that better person, willing to accept the difficulties of reaching out, of being people of integrity in a mixed-up world, clear about what matters most because you have lived it in your families and in this school already. So this ending becomes a new beginning for you. For your parents, your moving away from home will mark a dramatic transition in their lives and a new source of worry. For you, it is the opening of new horizons which will challenge all that you have learned here. For us, your teachers, you are our investment of compassion, trust, time, and an unknown future. So take up the challenge and change the world in which you live. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Tenrero. At this time, our highly regarded clef singers, under the direction of Mrs. Susan Alves, will now sing Man in the Mirror.
Na 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 na.
Thank you, Ms. Alves and clef singers. It is with great pleasure that I present to you the Salutatorian for the class of 2013, Ms. Katie Lynch.
Welcome. Welcome classmates, welcome teachers, welcome administrators, welcome friends, welcome family, welcome friends' family, welcome family friends, and welcome to anyone else who I didn't mention, in which case I feel I should let you know that no, this is not a musical, I will not be singing and dancing, and you are indeed watching a graduation at a performing arts center. The exit's over there if you need it. All right, so now that we all feel super welcome, it's time to get down to business. I was asked to speak to you all about virtually whatever I wanted, and after approximately 4 minutes of actually trying to think of a clever theme for this speech, I took to the internet. The Google search, "What should I write my salutatorian speech about?" yields ample results, with countless way too intelligent for their own good bloggers posting ideas like citing inspirational quotes or giving advice to your classmates, since everyone knows there's no better inspirational advisor than a 17-year-old who came in second place. So I decided I would go about this whole speech writing thing the way most of us went through most of high school, making it up. Every one of us graduates have pulled an essay out of thin air at 1 o'clock in the morning, scribbled down random letter and number combinations on our math homework, pretended to read a book in English class, and contributed meaningfully made up insight in discussions. Commonly misperceived as laziness, we've all exemplified this procrastination in its purest form. Much to the dismay of our teachers and parents, procrastination is the one thing, other than the beautiful, shiny blue and white tents we now wear, that has united all of us graduates throughout all of our education. Some of us have mastered the art, thriving under the pressure that working in the wee hours of the night places on our shoulders. Others of us have not yet perfected the craft and choose friends or fun or more likely sleep after having already put off our work for days, procrastinating too far and failing to successfully complete the mission in a timely manner. And a select few of us have recognized, after perhaps just one instance of procrastination, that time management may actually work out better in the end. To these individuals, I say, stop making the rest of us look bad. But now, looking back on the very concept behind procrastination and how it's going to apply to the rest of our lives, it seems like a legitimately terrible idea. Procrastination is not simply a term that applies to us academically, it is one that has the potential to resonate throughout each and every one of our lives, from putting off what means the most to us to putting off a haircut since 3rd grade. Andrew Harpin? The word procrastinate is derived from Latin and means to put off until tomorrow. I don't know what on earth these crazy ancient Latin were thinking when they came up with the word, because it's a little ridiculous. For guys that were supposed to be great philosophers on life and how it should be lived, this word of theirs really doesn't fit in. While to put off until tomorrow may be the mantra of many a high school student, its practical application to life is entirely impractical. Every one of us should be doing everything we want to do in life every day. Why should we be putting off our goals until tomorrow when we only have so many tomorrows to put it off until? It doesn't make sense. So now I'm going to make a food/eating analogy because frankly it's the one field of study that I can really call myself an expert in. If you want a piece of cake right now, would you say, oh, I think I'll wait till tomorrow to get it? No, you'd get up off your seat and get the cake now because you're hungry now. So if we don't procrastinate for our food, why on earth should we procrastinate for our goals and aspirations? Whatever you want to do in life, whether it's get a college education or travel the world or to inspire others, go and do it now. Don't wait till tomorrow when maybe you aren't as hungry for these dreams or perhaps your plans have fallen through. Don't let someone else eat your cake before you had the chance to taste it, because that's just a waste. Now, since obviously everyone of you totally just listened to what I just had to say, there's one last thing I want to let you know. We've pretty much been an awesome graduating class full of kind of super awesome people. And I genuinely mean that in the least sarcastic yet least sappy way I could possibly muster. We've stood up for what we wanted and believed in, we've rallied around others in our time of need, and we have semi-graciously accepted about 1.5 million changes over the past 4 years. And while most of us have not had the distinct pleasure of getting to know many of us, I think I can speak on behalf of all of us in saying that we will all see success one day, no matter how we define it. Not one of us is going to let anyone take our cake away, because we love cake. Thank you.
It is with great pleasure that I present to you the valedictorian of the class of 2013, Mr. Andrew Harpin.
Thank you very much, Melissa. Good evening, distinguished guests, undistinguished guests. You know who you are. First off, congratulations are in order. I'm not simply referring to the group of amazing individuals I've had the pleasure of spending the last 4 years of my life with. I want to congratulate and thank everyone who is here today. Parents, families, friends, coaches, teachers. Every individual associated with the fine faces before me has given me something to make today possible. Before I dive into the life advice you will quickly forget portion of our program, I'd like to take a quick moment and task you lovely folks with a challenge. I would like you all to take a moment, which I realize is nearly an eternity in our digital age, thinking of the people who made today possible for you to be here. The people whose compassion, love, and kindness that have enabled you to be here, graduating from CHS, or watching someone you love graduate from CHS. Please, just take one moment and think of those who have made today possible. Those people are so proud of you today. But forget about them. Seriously. Don't worry though, we'll come back to them later, I promise. So, when I was growing up, I always imagined that high school would be like an episode of Boy Meets World. You know, mullets and flannel shirts would be really cool. I'd spend 90% of my day in the halls, and I would somehow find a real person with the name Topanga. Needless to say, these sweet lies that classic 90s television filled my mind with did not exactly translate into reality. However, there was some truth hidden within the concrete template of network television episodes, in the same way that every 30-minute segment ended with an often cheesy lesson from which we got to learn. Every experience we have faced as a class over the last 4 years has taught us something. As young green underclassmen, we rarely explored both new and academic territory. We discovered that there really is no way for teachers to tell whether or not we read the book. We learned which hallway intersections turned into major claustrophobic fire hazard death traps during passing time and how to avoid them. We each discovered a field of study, either in which we excelled or which we fell in love with. Whether it be in the classroom, the studio, the workshop, every one of us found our potential futures. And this last year in particular has presented us with a great amount of challenges. You know, we often like to complain that we're the guinea pig class. You know, we're always used to test out new and strange ideas that administration concocts. And regardless of whether or not our whining is to be believed, I can tell you with confidence that we've conquered these obstacles. You know, we shouldered the burden of an additional course. We decided what we were going to do with the next year of our lives. And for those of us who couldn't decide, we decided to give ourselves 4 more years by going to college. We learned to identify our principal on the intercom by the sound of his voice alone, without having him tell us that he's Mr. Tenrero, our principal. All of us realized that up top parking spots would have to be shared with underclassmen in a raffle system. And the smart ones of us learned that sometimes it pays to not play by the rules. So the whole point of this valedictory address is that I'm supposed to offer you all some profound thoughts on how to succeed in the real world after we leave this room. However, I think it's important to point out that all of us graduates have shown our capacity to succeed simply by being here. The future that lies ahead of us only looks scary because it's masked by the threat of change. But recognize that each and every one of us has already conquered this beast by developing into the adults, more or less, that we are today. Now, this being said, I'm not going to cop out and use the past as a means of avoiding the fact that I need to offer up some half-decent advice on how to live a good life. But first, I think we need to establish what constitutes a good life. So I'd like to point out that we often assume the point of human life is to be as successful as possible. You know, we use these quantifiable metrics like annual salary or number of Twitter followers or Facebook friends. I mean, after all, that's the hero's journey, right? The hero starts out as a fatherless club and becomes the Lion King, or starts out as a gawky girl from Forks, Washington and becomes a vampire mother, or starts out as an orphan living under the stairs and becomes a wizard who saves the world. We young adults feel obligated to lead lives as measurably successful as these dramatic heroes. And I'm going to tell you all right now that this is complete, total nonsense. The only advice I have to give concerns how to actually live a good life. Do what makes you happy. I know this seems like an oversimplification. Easier said than done, right? More often than not, it can be difficult to identify what truly makes one happy. It should be something for which you are willing to make sacrifices, even if they aren't recognized. It should be something for which you can demonstrate endless passion. It should be something that provides fulfillment in its success. In other words, if you need a frame of reference, simply look back to those you remembered in silence earlier. Find something you love as much as those people have loved you, and let nothing stop you from pursuing it. Class of 2013, it has been an honor and a pleasure to be up here among you, amazing individuals, for these last 4 years. As we are about to leave this school and enter whatever is next, whether it be college or the workforce, we will be measured up to the rest of the world. Millions of other high school students molded by other school systems are graduating today, and we will be compared to them. Don't worry though. Keep in mind that CHS has armed us with a formidable education. But more importantly, remember all the things that we've learned from one another. I know that I am a better person for having known all of you, and I look forward to seeing the awesome people you all become. Thank you.
And now is the time we've all been waiting for. I ask Principal Tenrero to please present the class of 2013.
Students, as you receive your diplomas this evening, I ask that you privately reflect upon your years at Cumberland High School. I ask that you reflect upon the academic, civic, and social responsibilities of a high school graduate, the support you have gained from your parents and your gratitude to them, the hard work that you displayed to make this evening possible, and lastly, your gratitude to the teachers and the staff of Cumberland High School for their caring intellect and support. Based upon the recommendation of the faculty, I stand here before you to validate that the following members of the class of 2013 have fulfilled their graduation requirements in accordance with Rhode Island Board of Regents regulations and Cumberland School Committee policy, and therefore should be awarded this diploma and all the benefits, pleasures, and responsibilities that go along with it. Dr. Thornton, I am pleased to present to you the class of 2013.
No, it's okay, this. Oh, yeah. Wait. Family and friends of the class of 2013, please hold your applause until all graduates have received their diplomas. Matthew John Abradis. Zoe K. Ainsberg. Elizabeth A. Allberg. Stephanie L. Albuquerque. Chloe Elizabeth Andrews. Betsy Arujo. Christopher R. Arteaga. Christopher J. Ashley. Matthew J. Baer. Meg L. Barker. Alicia Marie Barna. Ashley E. Barrier. Andrew J. Bartlett. Andrew R. Bassett. Andrew J. Bauer. Mitchell J. Baxter. Savannah M. Beal. Elton S. Benavides. Claudia Berberian. Nicolette Susan Bernardi. Barrett P. Bernier. Samantha M. Bertherman. Michaela Alexandra Berthium. Chantal Lynn Barabee. Jillian Marie Bilecki. Zachary Michael Bisson. Carolyn S. Bliss. Matthew B. Bluen. Dylan M. Boisclair. Sarah R. Borges. Caitlin R. Bouchard. Cameron T. Boylan. Benjamin P. Bradley. Megan H. Breen. John R. Brown. Keegan M. Buckley. Keith A. Burt. Austin G. Callista. Joel M. Cameron. Catherine T. Cameron. Michael A. Capalbo. Robert J. Karen. Samuel G. P. Karen. Victoria A. Cartier. Leandro T. Castillo. Carlos A. Catano. Joel D. Catterall. Kristen M. Caulfield. Gwendolyn Chai. Brianna M. Charchaflia. Brian S. Chia. Brianna M. Christensen. Haley B. Chung. Richard A. Church, Jr. Evan D. Quello. Kristen E. Collette. Kelly Ann Colombo. Bridget A. Connors. Michael A. Constantino. Jennifer H. Contois. Evan J. Cook. Jonathan M. Corno. Juan Pablo Correa. Alexander J. Correa. Megan Catherine Corsi. Nicholas Robert Costa. J.C. N. Cody. Stephen J. Cotta. Zachary J. Coyne. James M. Cravero. Trevor J. Crawley. Sean L. Curtin. Sonia J. Chakowski. Kiara Rose Cruz. Kaylee Erin Diambra. Jasmine M. DeRosa. Derek J. De Silva. Charles Douglas Davenport. Katie R. DeBlois. Brianna DeCesare. Kenneth W. DeHertog. Erie John Delgado. Morgan Elizabeth DeMare. Stephen M. Dench. Robert A. Diorsi. Alexis Dakota. Alexander Lee Yoshimura Deal. Ali DiTomaso. Haley E. Dodge. Zachary A. Douglas. Alexander P. Draper. Hannah Constance Dubois. Nicholas T. Dubois. Sarah Elizabeth Duffy. Jared S. DeLue. Joseph Aaron Dupuis. Samantha Jeanette LL. Benjamin W. Emery. Patrick John England. Mackenzie A. Enright. Mark J. Ethier. Ariana Rose Faria. Vanessa B. Perino. Stephanie Lynn Bauscher. Daniel Richard Baza. Mei Ling Emily Feng. Angelica Alexis Fernandez. Connor D. Florent. Molly Catherine Fogarty. Michaela M. Fontaine. Kelly R. Fournier. Daniel J. Furtado. Cassandra M. Fusaro. Jacob R. Gabbery. Amadou D. Garcia. Daniel Christian Gardner. Kristen Lynn Garrity. Jason G. Gaudette. Bethany H. Gauthier. Kelsey L. Jagir. Sanjay Gillespie. Julia W. Gillis. Jennifer Giraldo. Zane M. Grady. Blaine Joseph Grennan. Rachel Kimberly Grills. Brendan A. Guerin. Olivia Yusha Hallam. Jared J. Hamill. Victoria Helene Hansen. Sarah A. Hanishek. Alexander M. Hare. Andrew M. Harpin. Michaela Lee Hastings. Alexander Charles Edwards Haupt. Francis Soleil Hawkins. Andrew Nolan Hecht. Olivia Jeanette Hedenskog. Joshua C. Hemond. Bridget M. Hollenbeck. Evan R. Hosney. Eric R. Hausman. Matthew D. Ewick. Daniel P. Jalbert. Michaela B. Jolly. Gregory J. Joubert. Christopher Joyce. Brandon Patrick Katzenek. Jacob R. Keith. Sydney M. Keith. Courtney Jennifer Kent. David Patrick Kiff. Monica M. Kolick. Danielle L. Kunis. Esther Waswamo Quara. Patrick W. LaLiberty. Danielle Claire Lambert. Cassandra N. Lonnie. Jonathan D. Lanou. Aaron M. LaRue. Taylor Jordan LaRiviere. Katerina Helena LaRocca. Erica J. LaRue. Haley M. Lascola. Paige C. Lascola. Thomas J. Lazarus. Cameron Isaiah Lazenberry. Seraphim T. Lee. Kate Noel LeBeau. Kaylin P. Legary. William M. Lemos. Amanda M. Lento. Justin Mark Lizotte. Joshua Paul Loisel. Remy Paul Lucier. Kelsey L. Lamoureux. Katie B. Lynch.
Jonathan R. Massini. Eliza J. Machado. Michael Patrick Mahoney. Brianna Haley Manley. Melissa Elizabeth Mardo. Gary M. Marks. Emma Ann Marslin. Gina K. Martin. Mariella Mata. Ian K. Mata. Christian N. Mauricio. Mark McCann. Marissa Ashley Medeiros. Nicole J. Medeiros. Stasha B. Medeiros. Alan J. Medron. Thomas A. Megan. Jacob M. Mefford. Alexis V. Mello. Samantha Migliaccio. Zachary H. Mobrice. Jana B. Moitoso. Ben I. Moliere. Stephanie Montelieza. Nevin A. Morales. Emily Rose Morin. Renee Yvette Morin. Quim Manuel Marta. Narenpom Nachampasak. Nicholas B. Najjar. Michaela F. Napini. Marcos M. Noguera. Taylor M. Noak. Vivian Nunes Montero. Aaron Michael Oakley. Lauren Marie O'Brien. Desiree Ocasio. Shannon Riley Pacheco. Anita Marie Parenti. Delaney M. Paris. Emily N. Patry. Rachel Elizabeth Paulin. Catherine A. Payson. Emma C. Peixoto. Elizabeth D. Pereira. Zoe A. Phillips. Zachary D. Picard. Brianna R. Pina. Christina Rose Pistorio. Kendra L. Plant. Janelle A. Platt. Kyle Poirier. Caitlin Marie Picaro. Elliot J. Ray. Tanner C. Rebello. Matthew K. Redahan. Robert H. Reedy. Lauren Samantha Riley. Jessica Rivera. Alicia Lynn Robin. David M. Rosa. Valerie Michelle Rose. Austin Robert Ross. Jill Ashley Rossi. Tyler J. Roy. Lucas N. Runlet. Jacob D. Ryan. Matthew R. Razimian. Martha Ann Sage. Brian J. Salemi. Andrew D. Santos. Brady K. Schofield. Brandon K. Schofield. Kevin J. Scullin. Brittany Santaro. Sydney E. Chabot-Mardenley. Michaela Elizabeth Sheridan. Megan E. Psyche. Jenna R. Silva. Kevin M. Silva. Michelle Rose Sisti. Rachel Rose Small. Thomas A. Smith. Bree Soulier. Mandy Marie Soulier. Tyler Mack Stevens. Daniel R. Stock. Thomas M. Sullivan. Kyle Robert Zumita. Jonathan D. Talon. Autumn R. Tessier. Joshua W. Thibodeau. Lee C. Tomlin. Stephen Bruce Towner Jr. Eric A. Travers. Peter A. Travers. Zachary R. Troick. Charles N. Trudeau. Nicole J. Usello. Kelsey L. Vadenese. Trent R. Vassy. Daniel A. Vasilou. Alexander W. Vaudrain. Victoria M. Vecchio. Joseph Armando Vela. Dennis A. Villanueva. Nicholas A. Wenzel. Daniel R. Wilson. Gian C. Wilson. Nicholas M. Yo. Christopher B. Zine. And Kayla Lynn Zerva. Ready?
Ready. Hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you the class of 2013.
Okay, please be seated. At this time, I invite Mr. David Rosa, class president, to the podium to address the class and for the ceremonial passing of the flag to the class of 2014.
Yeah, pretty much, I think. Okay, yeah, perfect. Oh man, get this up a little bit. Welcome, parents, families, friends, and fellow graduates. I'm honored to have the privilege to speak here to everyone tonight. To my classmates, congratulations. To all the parents, you have done a great job so far. To the Cumberland High School faculty and staff, thank you for everything. And to all of our wallets, hello, student loans. Trying to write a short speech describing high school and my appreciation for everyone who helped me through it was too difficult to explain every individual part. Instead, I fixated upon a deck of disheveled playing cards that were lying right next to my feet as I wrote this essay. In fact, I'm pretty sure they may be an extra set of cards we did not use for senior reception decorations. Luckily, I'm pretty confident I can stretch this into a coincidental metaphor. Let's see how it goes. Yeah. The top card is bent. I am sure that the others in the deck are bent as well, but the most obvious one is all I can focus on. Instead of thinking, probably just a whole bunch of bent cards, we can all agree that the first thought that comes into our heads is this one. We only see the flaw in it. We do not see the power that it holds. This one card, if misplaced or removed, will avoid the further use of the entire deck. You cannot play a decent game of high-low jack with 51 cards. We all know that. You cannot do very much except become aggravated with the incomplete deck. The same goes for students. We all need that bent card in our deck to understand the importance of us all. Yes, most people will know which card it is, but either way, without it, we are incomplete. It does not matter if the bend is a physical or emotional flaw. It does not matter if everyone knows about the bend. Without it, we would not be complete. The box that these cards came in is all ratty and torn. Why? Probably because I've gotten a lot of use from them. Taking cards out, putting them away at the end of a game, all creates wear and tear normally associated with discount soft goods. But I have no use for the cards if they stay in the box. Yes, they will look immaculate, but they have no purpose. Imagine yourself as this box of cards. If you never open up, you will have no purpose. You may look good, but that's only at face value. Your true meaning only comes when you deal those cards out. Let others share what you are made of and appreciate the wear and tear that comes with experience. Next year, I will be attending the University of Connecticut to study special education with a concentration in history in an integrated 5-year bachelor's master's program. Go Huskies! I am going to use this degree to help produce fine young scholars out of what society often refers to as our bent cards. Do not define others by their flaws, but by the greater good they serve. Do not keep yourself in a good-looking box. Take a chance and show others what's inside of you. I would like to end this with my senior quote, a quote that I have seen firsthand makes a difference in others' outlook. It is a Special Olympics Rhode Island pledge. Let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt. Thank you, and congratulations to the Cumberland High School class of 2013. At this time, I invite Mr. Eli Dias, President of the class of 2014, to the podium for the ceremonial passing of the flag. The school flag symbolizes Cumberland High School's longtime tradition of excellence and unwavering commitment to the community. Please, accept this flag and accept the responsibility of the commitment and determination needed to achieve the highest level of excellence. Gotcha.
Thank you, David. The class of 2014 accepts this symbol of our commitment to excellence. On behalf of the entire class of 2014, I can honestly say that you all will be missed. Thank you all for the wonderful memories. You were truly one of the best classes at Cumberland High School, and on behalf of my class, I would like to wish you all best of luck as you move on to the next chapter in your lives. We hope that as you move on and face the challenges of growing up in life, that you'll be able to achieve your goals and exceed in your future and education. Thank you again, and congratulations, class of 2013.
Center stage, kids. The ceremonial tassel change traditionally symbolizes a student's transition from candidate to graduate. Class of 2013, please turn your tassel from right to left. Congratulations, class of 2013. Good job, thank you.
Congratulations. In just a few moments, the graduates will recess out of the theater using the center aisle. As a reminder, it is important that all guests remain in their seats until after all the graduates and faculty have left the auditorium. Guests who must leave immediately are asked to exit by the doors on either side of the auditorium, as use of the center aisle will be prohibited until the recession is complete. You will be able to gather outside on the side street of Page Street that is closed off for this purpose. Thank you for your cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the graduation ceremony for the class of 2013. The Cumberland High School Band, we'd like to thank under the direction of Ms. Lisa Kozel-Kenyon. They will lead the recessional. Thank you all for coming.